All right. Okay. So thank you everybody for being here with me. My sisters, my brother, mom, my girlfriend, and Daly. If you'd show them Dad.
Go ahead and wave.
If you'd wave, please. Thanks, Dad. Okay. And so I realize my topic today may be a bit controversial, but I'd like to begin. If everybody could, by a show of hands, just let me know how many of you think you should pay more in taxes if you pay taxes. No one?
She pays taxes.
No one at all? Okay. And how many of you like to discriminate against those who are less fortunate than you? Do you think that's okay? Anyone? Okay, so well, you're a terrible person, obviously, clearly. So, what I am going to talk to you about today is the law in Kansas where we do mandatory piss testing or drug testing for welfare recipients. And I'm going to explain why that's wrong and why we shouldn't do that. To begin, there are 7 states that currently do it. Many other states who have proposed policies where they will begin to. Sometimes it's mandatory for all applicants, sometimes only if they feel that it's necessary, whether you have a drug possession charge in the past or any sort of aggression with the law. Sometimes they can do it if you have too many traffic tickets. That would be a big red flag for them. And to me, big problem number one, of course, is that the main reason why all of these states are doing this is for one simple reason, and that's to weed out drug users from our welfare programs. My main point here is that they are trying to eliminate a demographic that really doesn't exist. And I will explain a little bit further. Thanks to the good people at thinkprogress.org, I did find that in those 7 states, which the states, of course, are Arizona, Minnesota, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Utah, and Kansas. In those 7 states, the welfare rate of drug use is anywhere from 0.002% to 8.3%. Keep in mind that only one of those states has a drug use over 1%. That means 6 of those 7 states is below that 1%, as low as 0.002%. The national drug abuse rate is estimated to be 9.4%, which is basically telling you right there it's pretty worthless. They're kind of targeting the wrong people in my eyes. And so moving forward, there is a study that was done in Kansas from July 1st of 2014 to December 31st. There were 11 out of 2,783 applicants. And they ended up spending about $40,000 on those people just to get 11 out of that 2,700 people. If you think about it, that's kind of a waste of money. Also to take into account that that's only 6 months of testing. If you think about it, for a year, you're looking at about $80,000 if we continue at that rate just for our state. My second point, of course, is that welfare queens, if you will, really are few and far between. When I say welfare queens, I mean people who milk the system. That is literally what they are deemed as. That's what legislators refer to them as in their private meetings. And these are people who just really, they sit back around, watch television, they have their nails done, their nice cars, their kids get all their medications paid for free, which, granted, it happens. It does. But there's not that very many people. In fact, most people who get welfare benefits of any sort, whether it be Women's, Infants, and Children, which is the WIC programs, provides nutritious food for young children and their mothers. Food stamps help many hungry people. A lot of these people work and have been taxpayers in the past. Myself, for example, I've worked for on and off for about 11 years now of my life. I was laid off at one of my first pharmacy positions because we went out of business. We were bought out by another pharmacy. Thanks to welfare in the good state of Kansas, I was able to get 6 months paid because I could not find a position, not in pharmacy. And thanks to this program, I was able to hold out and find the perfect job for myself. Thanks to that opportunity, I was able to continue with my college career. Didn't have to get a job flipping burgers somewhere and working 40 plus hours a week. I was able to continue with my school, and I'm now a pharmacy student at KU. So thanks to this program, it is definitely a hand up. something that has benefited me and it benefits a lot of people, and I don't think that we should continue to discriminate against somebody just because they are experiencing a difficult period in their life. Moving forward, Time Magazine article in 2010 reported that nearly half of all the poor or near poor single mothers who were on welfare worked at least part-time. So that kind of shows that, even more people, not just myself, of course, we're out there doing what we have to do to support our families and ourselves. Another issue is, of course, it just increases the stigma that surrounds welfare recipients. Not only are they ashamed of getting these benefits, which we are entitled to, all U.S. citizens since the 1930s have been entitled to these benefits. And now putting this extra policy in line, this extra barricade, that's really going to stand in the way of a lot of people getting benefits that they really need to move forward in their life, and I don't agree with that. But number one, it is of course a relief system, and it's supposed to be put in place to help, not to push people away, no matter what their situation may be. And this just leads me, of course, to a Concordian, the Concordian.org. One of their authors, Austin Keller, wrote a piece a few years back, and he basically just says a large number of welfare recipients, they can be described as low mobility, which is a big issue as well. Like I said, a lot of them still work, so they're working, at least part-time, have children, sometimes have difficulties with transportation, and now all of a sudden they're required to go and take a drug test just to keep getting their benefits. It's really a hassle for them as well. Let's see, in Minnesota, there was 0.4% drug users in the Minnesota program compared to 1.2% in the general population. That was also in his article. And he was quoted, ended the speech by saying, it may be good politics to do this, but it is definitely not good policy. And I completely agree with him. But of course, the main thing and the reason why I'm doing this speech is I would like to talk money and the reason why it's so expensive. Of course, I already quoted that in Kansas, those 11 people out of 2,783, that cost us $4,000 in 6 months. But there are some other statistics that I think we should share, because we should learn not only from our state's failure, but failure of other states as well. Thanks again to the Think Progress. Collectively, all 7 states, since these have been implemented, have spent approximately $1 million combined just to weed out a few people from getting benefits they desperately need. In Utah, as a matter of fact, in 2013, over a 6-month study, they found 12 people out of multiple thousands. They spent $30,000 alone. In 2011, Florida, which is no longer practicing this at the time, they are refining their current policy and will probably address it soon again, put it back up for a vote. But in 2011, they tested 4,086 applicants at the cost of the person. So if you wanted welfare benefits, you had to pay for it yourself. Only 108 tested positive, but it ended up costing the state of Florida $118,000. And you ask why, if they paid for it themselves. Every negative test was reimbursed to the person. So of the 3,900 people, they all got their money back, which cost the state of Florida a good chunk of money, which could have been completely avoided. And I just want to end, just really drive the point home that this is a problem that's virtually non-existent. We are wasting taxpayer money and the time of people who really need these benefits. They need the hand up. And I don't really feel it's fair. If you agree with me, please visit the kansaslegislator.org, talk to a legislator, let them know how you feel about the topic. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you. If you could show that for me, please.
You're with the camera.